And we continue with The House Like a Lotus. Max's house, Bouillère, is built of soft pink brick and surrounded by 3-story white verandas. A house built for shade and breeze. It is at the far end of Benecide Island from our house, just past Mulletville, which used to be a functional fishing village, till a developer came in and started an expensive housing development. Now that islands are becoming status symbols, it's a cocktail partying place, cheek by jowl with what's left of the original village. There's a causeway from Mulletville to the mainland, and a school bus comes to take the development kids to Cowpertown, those who don't go off to boarding school. Bouillère is set on 100 acres, but even so, Max is not happy about the development on what used to be an almost private island. Between Mulletville and our house are 2 privately owned plantations and a state wildlife preserve, so we're moderately isolated. Benecide is shaped like a crescent moon. The Mulletville and Bouillère point of the moon much closer to the mainland than our point. Our house and Bouillère are in all ways at opposite points of the compass. Bouillère is a great house, often photographed for books on Southern architecture. Our house was once a motel, but Benecide is really not a tourist-type island, or we wouldn't be there. There's a tricky undertow, and swimming isn't safe unless you know the waters well. Mother and Daddy rebuilt the falling-down motel, dividing the rooms so each of us kids would have our own bedroom, and there'd be a few extra for the uncles and aunts and other visitors. Mother and Daddy's bedroom was what had originally been the office and lobby, with a big screen porch off it, facing the ocean. Our rooms were off on either side, and the ocean side was all screens in summer, with enormous storm windows for winter. There were 2 wings, one for Daddy's labs, with cases of starfish and lizards and squids and various kinds of octopuses, and a medium-sized computer for Mother. The other had a big, long living room, a big dining room, and a good kitchen. The wings made a kind of court, where we had swings for the little kids and a picnic table under an ancient water oak. The wood of the house was weathered, so that it was a soft, silvery gray, and behind it were great jungly trees full of Spanish moss and mockingbirds. We were fairly high up on the dunes, so there was a long wooden ramp which led down to the beach. It was comfortable and informal. Bouillère was formal. The Greek Revival columns rising up the 3 full stories emphasized the height of the ceilings. It was by far the most elegant of the 3 plantation houses, and the best kept up. The other 2 were owned by Northerners who were seldom there and probably used them as tax write-offs. Max has always had several yard men and a couple living over the garage to take care of things and clean the silver, and everything else, of course. But there is a great quantity of silver. All the doorknobs, for instance, are silver. "They come from my mama," Max said, "and I treasure them." There are Waterford chandeliers and candelabra and paintings by Max, and also by Picasso and Pissarro, and even a Piero, and portraits. Southerners do seem to have a great many portraits, and Max had more than most. But until last Christmas, Bouillère was no more than a name to us. And we'll pause there.